What is up, y'all? Will here with Schedulefly, and this is the Restaurant Owners Uncorked podcast brought to you by us here at Schedulefly. Simple, web-based restaurant employee scheduling software backed by legendary customer service, all at a low price point. Y'all, we have been doing this for 18 years. We hung our shingle out on the internet on May 1st, 2007. And our pricing chart has not changed one single time since then. So simple software, great service, low price point, schedulefly.com, 30-day free trial. My personal cell phone number is on like 3 pages of that website. So I'm really easy to reach if you want to call or text or whatever. If you were on pencil and paper or Excel or Google Sheets or GroupMe or something like that, it's not a scheduling software. And scheduling and communication is beginning to be a headache. Give us a shot. We'll make life a lot easier for you and your team. If what you're doing is working, keep doing it. It's all good. Keep doing what you're doing. But when you get a headache, we got some aspirin for you, and it works, and it's effective, and it's low cost, and it's backed with a smile. And then if you are on 7 shifts or hot schedules, or pick your favorite competitive software that was funded by venture capital or private equity when money was free over the last decade, you're probably paying a whole lot of money for getting exactly what you would get with Schedulefly, and you're funding those investors. Well, we're a little small team of 6. We love what we do. We take great care of our customers. We don't have those big teams of outside investors. So we would love an opportunity for you to check us out. Again, 30-day free trial, save yourself some money, have an easier tool, and know that when you have a call, it is going to get answered. That is Schedulefly, and this is a Restaurant Owners Uncorked podcast. Almost, or maybe this might be episode number 600. We're darn near close to it, and we have Drew Moore here. This is, I don't know, second, third time probably on here. Drew's a badass up in Carrboro, North Carolina. Longtime customer, longtime friend. Drew, introduce yourself, man.
Yeah, just restaurateur in Carrboro. Have a couple of places, Venable Bistro, Beside Lounge, and we just recently launched Auto Strada Pizza and Panini and Auto Strada Gelato and Coffee. And we're about to do House of Gatewood Chop House too, out in Hillsborough. So that'll be the first one kind of outside of Carrboro.
Nice. Congrats, dude. I didn't know that. Very cool.
Yeah.
When's that?
We're hoping early September.
Chop House in
Yeah.
Hillsborough. Okay. Interesting.
So it was he was open for about 2 years pre-COVID, and then Ron's been doing kind of the COVID model still, and they've never reopened, and so he and I are kind of teaming up together, and we're going to reopen it as a chop house, and then there'll be kind of multiple ways you can use the property. It's 17 acres, and there's a big pond, and they do weddings and events now, and we'll have the restaurant open, and then we'll have out on the lawn. You can bring your lawn chair and set up and get some barbecue or get some steak or whatever you want, chicken, and listen to music and play cornhole and have fun with the fam.
Dude, that's awesome. Oh, I can't
Yeah,
wait to check that out. Congrats.
that's going to be a lot of fun.
Dude, you got a lot going on. Well, first of all, how was your trip you went to Denver, Boulder,
Yeah,
a couple months ago, right? How'd that turn out?
it was great. We had a lot of fun. Yeah, my oldest son is a rising senior, so we went to check out CU because I'm from Colorado, and it's kind of a dream of mine that he would go there. So we went to tour the campus. He loved it, and then we went to a Coldplay concert, which was awesome, and went whitewater rafting. Got out in the mountains for a little while. That was a nice break.
Dude, I bet it was. Did you get up with any of those folks, Schedulefly customers? Did you ever hang out with any of them?
I didn't know. I mean, it was a really quick trip. We were only there, I think, 4 days,
Yeah.
and we had a lot planned to pack in. We did go to the pizza place that was really, really good. Um, one night, I can't remember what it's called now, but it was really good.
In Boulder. Oh, wait.
No, not in Boulder. It was actually wound up being like 3 blocks from our VRBO. Very
Oh,
small place.
where were you? Were you in Boulder or Denver?
We were in Denver,
Oh, you were in Denver.
um, Wheat Ridge.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, you probably went to one of the culinary creatives places, Juan Pedro.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Dude, they've got like 23 locations
yeah,
now. They're going into Houston. They're going into, I think maybe somewhere else, somewhere in the Southwest. They're just crushing it.
yeah. Well,
And they're
I mean, their product's great and their service is great.
they're
They got,
they're doing a really good job in a really tough environment. I think Denver might be the toughest environment in the country to operate in right now over the last year. A lot of crime, a lot of labor law changes. Like it's been
mm,
there's a lot of restaurants that have closed in Denver in the last year or two.
interesting. I didn't know that.
Dude, it is horrific. But they're somehow finding a way to do really well. So see you. So did he like it? You think he may go there?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious. So you're from there, but now you live in Carrboro. For those of you who don't know North Carolina, Carrboro is like, attached to Chapel
Basically,
Hill.
Chapel Hill. Yeah.
You got a kid who could go to in-state tuition at Chapel Hill, but you want to send him out of state out to Colorado, huh?
Well, I'd be happy for him to go to UNC, but it's really challenging from Chapel Hill to go to Chapel Hill.
Yeah.
You've got to, be really competitive. There's just a handful of the kids at that school that can get in. But conversely, in Colorado, they're looking for diversity, and so they've got a lot of kids from Colorado already. Um, but they're looking for kids from out of state to come in too. But the
So
campus is just unbelievable.
there's nothing
They just,
like it. It's beautiful.
yeah, they just built a $30 million student center, and it's like 6 basketball courts that have floor to ceiling glass windows that look over the Rockies. I mean, bowling alleys. It's it's insane. It's like, does anybody study here, or you guys just play all day? But
Well, Drew, we went out there. My daughter she goes to Penn State. And when she was looking at colleges a few years ago, she wanted to look at Colorado. And I got see, I didn't want her to go. Not my daughter. I wanted her like close. I was hoping she'd stay
yeah,
in state. Penn State's even too far. But I got really lucky because she's like, she wanted to tour Colorado. I'm like, cool. Why don't we take our family of 5 in an RV, drive out?
right.
And
I
we
remember
did
that.
that. We stayed in Dave Query, who owns Big Red F. We stayed in his driveway. And we went on that tour, and I'm thinking to myself, this is the coolest. I've never seen anything like this campus. This place is, I was like, I'm gonna have to get used to this. Bella's gonna want to go here. I would if I
Yep.
were her. This place is incredible. So we get done with the tour, and we're like, we go eat, and we're talking about it. Like, so man, did you love it? Like, what did you think? She goes, oh, I loved it, but there's no way I'm going here. And I'm like, why?
Wow.
She goes, it's too far from home. And the reason she thought it was too far from home is because we had just spent 4 days in a freaking RV driving out.
Oh, yeah.
In her mind, it's like, this is like way too far away. And
Yeah.
so I got a little lucky on that one.
That's funny.
But it
Yeah,
is,
no, we flew. It was a 3 hour direct flight.
oh, it's
It's
so
nothing.
easy. Just
Yeah.
boom, boom, you're down. And like, it's like not that far from the airport in Denver out to Boulder. And it's in a special place, man. It really is. A lot of great culture, massive amount of things to do, beautiful climate. I mean, it's hard to beat. Well, that's cool,
I
man.
was I was also impressed with the alumni list. There's a lot of really cool people that went there.
Yep. There are. There are. Um, well, okay. So you've had a lot of things happening since we last caught up, since we last had you on the podcast. So tell me about Auto Strada and what y'all are doing there, what prompted that, and just what's the whole
Yeah, I
story?
mean, Auto Strada really came about because I took a trip with my wife in 2022 to the south of France and throughout Italy. We started in Como, and we drove to Ez, which is real right next to Nice. It's an ancient town on the top of the hill,
Mm.
gorgeous. And then we went to Bologna and Imola, where I used to live, and saw some friends. And um, we spent a lot of time on the Autostrada, driving from place to place. And we went down to Assisi and saw St. Francis's tomb and um, Perugia and got chocolate. And, all along the drive, you almost look forward to the exits, and in the States, when you're driving places, it's like, do you want McDonald's or Burger King? Do you want Panera? Oh, this is a good exit. There's you know, name your fast food. And over there, it's one company does all of the exits, and they're called auto grills. And you get off on the auto grill, you get your gas, you get a panini, and it's phenomenal food. There's gelato, there's coffee, there's sandwiches, uh, and then there's the bottled waters and the snacks and stuff and candy bars and whatnot. But the food is fresh and it's so memorable. Uh, and we just loved that. So we had the opportunity to try to kind of test out doing that here in Carrboro, and who knows where it'll go from there. But uh, that's kind of the genesis of the idea, and it's been really cool. I didn't know whether people would get that or not, and we've had a lot of people that come in and they're like, "Yeah, Auto Strada. We were on the Auto Strada and we loved it. The auto grills, we were there. The paninis are amazing." And so that's been really cool. I didn't know how many people would have had that experience, but there's quite a few of them. It's been
So,
great.
okay, well, you've answered the question, but I want a little bit more clarity. I didn't even know what Autostrada. I was going to ask you, what does Autostrada mean? So that's
Oh,
like I
yeah,
know
it means highway.
highway. Okay.
Yeah, like the Autobahn in Germany.
Yeah, I knew Autobahn. I just hadn't heard
Yeah.
Autostrada. So that's south of France.
Well, the autostradas go throughout Italy, and then when they cross the border, they're called different things, depending on the country that they go to. But
Okay.
like, there's the A1, which is a famous autostrada that goes, you know, north to south, and there's the A10. We've actually got a map of them up next to our menu so that people can check them out. Um, but yeah, the autostradas actually were built before a lot of the U.S. highway system was built
Okay.
in the like 20s and 30s.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So you've got how many years have you been in the restaurant business now, Drew?
Mhm. Let's see, 33.
33. All right. You're a man of unique, different, a variety of different concepts, which I
Mhm.
love. Very creative. I mean, this is like what a freaking cool story. I just love. So you didn't go there to come up with the concept, or did
No,
you? Or did you go
no.
there and go, wait a minute, this would be cool? Like,
We went over there because it was the last summer that our kids were all going to be in summer camp, and and we had some free time, and I wanted to go back and kind of see some of the people that I used to work with, some of my friends that are over there, and um, introduce her to them and show her around, show her the restaurant where I used to work, and so um, had no idea that we would kind of fall in love with this concept.
this seems like a concept um, that you could replicate if you wanted. Is that the kind of thing that you want to do, or do you tend to prefer to kind of do one and then do something different? Now you got the chop
I would
house.
love to. No, I mean, I'd love to replicate it. I think it would be really cool to try and do it closer to highways,
Yeah.
and maybe make a difference in some of the kind of casual cuisine of the States. I mean, I don't know that you can be competitive. There's a lot of people out there that they eat what they eat as an economic choice and not as a discretionary choice. And that's unfortunate, but it's the reality. So I don't know how scalable it is, you know, um, to be huge, but you definitely could have a couple of locations.
Yeah, because you're not, if you're in Carrboro, so you're not like off the interstate there. I mean, you're not far, but
Yeah, we're not far from 40, but you definitely would have to find us.
yeah, it really is, man. It's interesting because you know what I like when I travel now, because I have gotten into making decisions. Um, not, to me, it's a good economic decision to put good food in your body because it
Yeah.
saves you medical bills and all the other stuff that comes downstream of making, you know, short-sighted um, food choices. But the place I go now is I either go to QT or Sheets. The reason I go there is particularly QT, like it's going to be friendly service. They're very consistent. But what I can get there is like I can get like a little Chobani yogurt and some cheese sticks and some like a little pack of hard boiled eggs and
Hmm.
a water or milk or something like that. And like that's like way, way better than if I were to roll in
Oh my God.
McDonald's or
I know.
whatever. But we really have like kind of hit the lowest common denominator with like when we're traveling, what's available and what we go to. But but people are starting to, it's coming. Like people are starting to be more aware. That pendulum went really far in one direction. I think people are starting to think about this more often. So you just, you're ahead of the curve probably. But that's a good thing. Like, I'd love to see something like that, man. God, we need those kinds of options for sure. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Like real food, not processed and, you know, that that food is it's amazing how bad it is. And we're like the only country that eats it.
I know it's absurd. I know. Well, it's interesting. My family went over to London and Paris, in the beginning of summer. I, we would be walking around like, I mean, I took my kids over to Camden Town in London, like Camden Market and all that. And, but yet there's still like Five Guys there or McDonald's. I'm just like, how do we get,
Hmm.
but they're not crowded. Like, I don't even know why they even bother going. I mean, I guess maybe they still do okay, but it is unfortunate. Well, so that actually,
I think that the burger is just a kind of a staple worldwide. I mean, I
yeah,
know that like in Italy they will go and get a burger at a McDonald's, but it's not every day. That's like almost like a treat, which is kind of bizarre. But
yeah.
the American burger is, I guess, the only exportable food that we really have
And it,
contributed to the
what,
world.
well, okay. So I want to dive into ingredients a little bit because um, it seems like even here, when you use very few ingredients, but you're using, I don't know, like products or, wheat that's been, you know, sprayed with pesticides. Like they don't have that over there,
Yeah,
right?
well, it's a great point. I mean, with the pizza place, we're importing our flour from Italy. It's non-GMO flour. It's
Ah,
not
there
sprayed
you
with
go.
glyphosate. And there are people that are catching on to the fact that when they eat pizza that's an American wheat flour, it makes their stomach hurt. It makes them feel like shit, and it's poison. And but they can eat our 00 flour that's imported from Italy. We use high quality water, high quality yeast, and then we do a pre-fermentation of the dough so that it's kind of easy to digest. So we're
Yeah.
doing like a traditional Napolitano dough in an American style. So like larger, we've got the 10-inch and then we've got the 16-inch pizzas that you can share. And um, so it's kind of like this blending of the cultures, right? It's the ingredients that are Italian, the traditional methods of making the stuff, but then we want to keep it approachable for people that are just walking by and they see pizza place, they come in and they think, oh, this is going to be New York style. And that's what the real New York style back in the day were, Italian immigrants that were making pizza in New York and out of these really traditional methods, and it's kind of been bastardized as time goes on with people trying to, cut corners with low cost ingredients or maybe a flour that is easier to work with, but um, isn't as good for you. I think that's
So,
really important.
so you're importing well, there you go. Okay. Which to your point, then that means it's more expensive. So it gets
Yep.
harder to convince somebody pulling off on the road or whatever to have this pizza that costs twice as much or whatever as Papa
But
John's.
it's not twice as much, and it's really like in the pizza business, the money's in the cheese.
The money's
So the flour is, not that much. Well, it is more, but it's not as a percentage. And overall in the dough is very cheap.
gotcha.
It's the cheese.
Do you
The
import? I
cheese is
mean,
the protein. It's like the steak of a steakhouse.
yeah. Where do you get your cheese from?
Wisconsin.
Okay. Is that
I mean,
like,
we are importing some, like our Fiore di Latte is imported, our burrata is imported, but our main everyday, whole milk mozzarella is coming from Wisconsin.
okay, got it. Um,
But
yeah.
our tomatoes are San Marzano, so they're from a protected region of Italy where no one can call them San Marzano unless they come from there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I mean, they're unbelievably delicious. Like I could just drink our pizza sauce. It's so good.
That's awesome. How do you educate the consumer about what you're doing and why it's important and help them understand that, like, I mean, to me, like, that sold me right there. Oh, the
Yeah,
freaking, because I always am like, I don't really want to eat this stuff because I know that like you said, like if I'm eating wheat from here, it's not good for me. I mean,
yeah,
I don't feel good. I can feel it
right.
every time.
Yeah.
I mean, no doubt about it. So how do you educate the consumer?
Well, I
Uh,
think there's a lot of people that are being educated just in general right now on what's going on. Like we get a lot of people that come in and it's written on the menu, 00 imported Italian flour. And they come in and they say, oh, we can eat here. So they already
yeah.
know, just like you said, when they see, that you're using a Caputo flour that they can eat there. And I mean, I don't know a lot of people that eat things and then feel bad and then don't want to know why they feel bad. So, when people feel bad, they look into what it is that happened that made them feel bad, and so they don't repeat it. And so I think a lot of people, there's also a lot of conversation around it, um, especially wheat and especially glyphosate.
Yeah, well, first of all, you have so many more tools now at your disposal to educate yourself. I mean,
Yep.
like when you and I were growing up, maybe you had something you're like, oh, my stomach doesn't feel good. You're like, I don't know, just and then you just kind of like
Hmm.
doctor
Yep.
said, take Pepto-Bismol. It's like now there's so much more education on this stuff, and you've got from Robert Kennedy. talking about this stuff to Andrew Huberman's got this big podcast educating people are more dialed in and having this conversation more. And so that's what I'm saying. I mean, dude, I think you're really onto something. I mean, people are looking for this more, and it really is. It all it always just comes down to um, the sort of the short, easy, inexpensive decision becomes the long, hard, expensive decision
Yeah.
um, because of the downstream effects, and hopefully more and more people are thinking about that. I wish. I mean, I don't know where we'll get as a country with this stuff. There's so much lobbying power and so much money behind a lot of this stuff. But I mean, gosh, when we drove out there to Colorado, the
Hmm.
whole freaking like half the drive, once you get past like Kansas City, all you see is corn and
Yeah.
soybeans, like heavily subsidized and like, you know, produced at scale with glyphosate, with everything you could possibly spray to, and that's unfortunate. I don't know if that's going to go away anytime soon, other than the educated consumer, you know, makes
Yeah.
pocketbook decisions, and then that can help change things, hopefully.
Yeah. But I think that's at such scale that, I can't imagine that changing anytime soon.
No, but at least we're starting to have options thanks to people like you. I mean, like,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of consumers are looking for that. And you've got to have it as restaurants because there's people that don't go out as much because they're like, nope, you know, bad ingredients, but, you know, poisonous oils, all this stuff that people
Yeah.
like, I ain't going out to a restaurant. I'm just going to make my own food. We need places like that for sure because you want to
Yeah.
have.
And I think it's, you've got a responsibility to your customer to be, you know, paying attention to what you're putting in the food. And, I mean, my kids eat our food every day. They come in, have a slice of pizza, have a sandwich, they go, you know, to Venable, get a burger, whatever. So it's like, it's not just a responsibility to the customer. It's also my family, my workers, my friends, everybody that's around us. Um, I want to know what we're producing and make sure it's the best we can make it.
So your chop house that you got opening up here soon. On that note, so where do you source your beef from for a place like that?
Well, we're actually in the process of that right now, and we haven't come up with anything yet. It's kind of tricky. The beef market right now is the worst it's ever been since like the 1940s, I think. We have cattle is the lowest production of cattle, the lowest herd count in, you know, 70 years or something. And even the price of ground beef, I don't know if you've been to the grocery store lately, but it's like, I don't know, 7, 8 bucks a pound,
Oh yeah.
which is crazy.
Yep.
And so we've got to figure that out. Um, and it doesn't seem like it's going to get much better anytime soon. But we're definitely not looking to source from, you know, industrial feedlots and that kind of stuff. Um, but you do have to get creative with your portioning and your pricing. And we're going to do kind of an a la carte looking menu that where you pick your protein, you pick your starch, and then you pick your veg. And so, if you want all three, then you pay an X price. But if you want to pick and choose, or you can, there's a lot more kind of choice in the pricing of the menu that way. Instead of all your entrees are X price and you get these three things, or these four
Yeah.
things.
Why is there such what's going on? Why is it so bad in the um
Just from what I've heard is that people don't want to do it. It's got the price of feed is too expensive. The land is um, better used for other things. And there's just a dwindling number of people that are willing to live, that want to live that kind of lifestyle. I don't know. I mean, I haven't personally talked to any ranchers or farmers, but That's what's coming down. Well, coming up the food chain, I guess, is uh, from the people that are selling it.
Yeah. I've got it's like my second cousin. They're up in Mount Ulla, Brown Farm. They do like he's like third generation, I think, beef cattle and farmer, and it's hard. It's hard living.
It's really hard.
Hmm.
Yeah, one of my best friends is a rancher out in Colorado and raises. He was raising Limousin beef. I think they do a mix of Limousin and Angus now, but uh, long summers of cutting hay, baling hay, throwing hay, long winters of feeding cows and birthing birthing season coming around. You got to be up at all hours of the night. Um, yeah, it's a tough job. It's not for everybody.
It's not, it's tough. I buy like a quarter of a cow from him every
Yeah,
I eat beef. Dude, I eat it all the freaking time. But I get it for like 4.75 a pound, and I'll get between 160 and 180 pounds. Good portion of that's ground beef, but then there's like, some steaks and stuff like that. But I mean, those cows live on grass until he feeds them corn like the last month or two to fatten them up a little bit.
yeah,
And I mean, I used to
that's the
try,
way to do it.
I used to try to eat grass fed, grass finished, but I mean, there's just no fat at all, and it's just safe.
No,
Yeah. So I don't know if this is right or wrong or whatever, but I mean, it's, his cows are treated humanely, but man, I mean, he and his wife and son bring that stuff like every few months, and we put it in my freezer, and he's just always exhausted. I'm like, Jamie, God, but thank goodness for him. I mean, um,
yeah.
uh, but
Well, that's who we're kind of looking to partner with is a farm. Yeah, there's also I think a co-op near here of maybe 7 to 9 farms that all kind of sell to the co-op, and that way, they you can you they the co-op can handle volume that one farm couldn't handle, but it's still kind of able to control the supply chain and make sure you know what kind of quality you're getting. And I think the what is that show called Portlandia, where they're like, what was the name of the cow and what was
oh,
his favorite color and all
we
that
were
kind of stuff.
just talking about that the other night. My kids were telling me about that. About when they were working food at the restaurant.
Yeah,
They were saying like the person who like the server would go on this giant long list of all this detail, and then but then like the customer would be like, yeah, yeah,
not enough.
dive even deeper here. Like that's pretty
Yeah,
funny.
yeah.
Well, did you get impacted by that freaking crazy flood stuff that happened like
We were very
no?
lucky. We're not as badly as some of the other restaurants around here. Um,
Golly.
yeah, I mean, actually, the restaurant that we partner with for our breads is Google Hoff, and they had a store in Eastgate Shopping Center, which flooded. I want to say it was like 6 feet of water, and all those businesses down there, the Trader Joe's, the couple of different restaurants, the Snooze. Do you know Snooze, the breakfast eatery out of
They're
Denver?
out of Denver, yeah.
Yep,
Snooze AM Eatery, yeah.
yep. They're closed. The building they were in got condemned, I think. Um,
Dang.
it took me. My commute is 15 minutes to work, and it took me 2.5 hours to get home. I passed 7 down trees. Well, came upon 7 down trees. One of them I was able to break back and get around. The others I had to turn around, and then I had to turn back from 3 rivers that had crossed the road that I couldn't get through, and then I got through, I think, 2 more. So it was intense. I love that stuff though. I mean, growing up in Colorado, weather events are fun.
Man, I was freaked out because my son is he's going to be at East Carolina this year, and so my wife took him for his orientation.
Oh yeah,
And we didn't even have like weather or anything on the radar. Like it wasn't
yeah.
even. And she called me. She's like, "You're not going to believe this. Like we're having to get off of I-40 right now. there's our phones are blowing up with hurricane warnings, not watches. And they're saying like, get off the road immediately. And she's like, we everywhere we go, we get turned around because a river has crossed the road. She's like, we're like,
Yep.
and then, and luckily they there was a days in. I mean, they were driving around for an hour. Like they would go this direction, nope, cops turning around this. So they
Yep.
finally they go to a days in, and thankfully she's like, put me on the second floor. But this is right after that crazy stuff down in Texas with those kids at that camp. I was
Yeah.
freaked out because I'm like, they are like literally locked in a days in on the second floor. I had just hoped this like because you don't know, like that stuff gets so bad. It gets so bad so fast. It was freaking crazy.
Hmm.
But anyway, so I'm glad y'all are okay. Scott Maitland was telling me, I've talked to him a little bit too, and um, but there's a lot of people around there that got really severely impacted by that.
Yeah. Yeah. We got really lucky. We had a little bit of flooding, a little bit of water got through the wall of one of the restaurants, but it was nothing. I mean, especially compared to what other guys went through. Other folks.
Dude, it is the most. There's nothing like a restaurant. I mean, it is always something. Like if there's not something, then something you could never even imagine is going to happen.
I,
Like
I know.
flood in freaking Burlington, North Carolina. Like it's just God, it's just unbelievable. The number of things that you as a restaurant owner could and very well probably will deal with on like a daily basis. It's probably keeps you.
Yeah, I mean, between just dealing with the general public is interesting on a daily basis. Plus, we're always dealing with people when they're hungry. So,
Angry. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's crazy to watch when you're really tuned into it. People come in and they're grumpy and they're short and they're, annoyed already with you and then they get something to eat and it's when they're leaving, they're just smiling and relaxed and happy. And it's like, man, that's a different person right there. That person was not like that when they came in. And it's cool to see. It's nice, but it's definitely why, we train the staff, get them in, get them fed as fast as you can, get something in front of them because it's going to be a lot easier to handle.
Get something in front of them as fast as possible. I love it. I love it. How's your staff doing, man? How is what's the restaurant workforce like these days?
It's definitely better than it was. I
Yeah.
mean, 2023, I wanted to just, I don't know, scream and bang my head against the wall. Um, it was really bad. It's gotten better. It's not perfect. And I don't know that it'll ever be what it was pre-COVID, maybe. But one thing is we're in a university town, and I've always said that there's this kind of cycle in a university town with restaurants where um, people graduate college and they just want to work for a little while. So they get a job in a restaurant, and then you know, they work for a year or two. They have fun. It's their first couple of years not being in school. They can make some money, go out, travel, and then the pressure to go to graduate school builds. And sometimes people go straight, 1 year and then they go to graduate school. Sometimes they go 5 years and then they go to graduate school. And during that time, you get them for 1 to 5 years. But when COVID hit, all the excuses of getting your application in went away. And so I think the graduate school role uh, really swelled, and
Yeah.
we lost a lot of people in the industry. And I think it's just going to take years of that cycle to build back up, some talent. But there's also definitely better quality in the kids coming out that are better work ethic.
Well, I'm really interested to see what happens in the next few years because It is getting really hard, even if you go to Chapel Hill, to get a good job right now, coming out of college. The
Yeah,
kind of jobs that people are used to getting when they came out of college are not there. And AI is starting to replace some of these entry level jobs.
yeah,
And it's becoming a really interesting conversation because you start going, okay, how much is it costing to get this college degree? And then what is the likelihood that that's a good ROI?
right.
Now, there's immeasurable stuff that comes along with that, the experience and the relationships and all that stuff. But at some point, because money was free for like a decade, so you could just borrow money. So the schools were like, we'll just keep increasing tuition,
Yeah,
kept going up, 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 up. And I think now, I mean, I'm having more and more, our kids are roughly, it sounds like the same age. I mean, I'm having more conversations with people that are scratching their heads going,
yeah.
how much are we about to spend on this? And is it really worth it? Like,
You
is
know,
this the right
there was
path?
about maybe 6 months or a year ago, there was a plane crash at RDU, and thank God everybody was safe. And actually, one of the guys on board was a customer of mine, and he's a doctor at UNC. And I had no idea that UNC has its own private air. They have 19 private planes. This is a public university with a that's flying their professors around on these planes. Now, maybe they need it, but I mean, it ain't cheap to go to, UNC.
No. Golly.
I'm sure they're not. It's not unique. I'm sure there are lots of schools that have their own private fleet. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the tuition just goes up and up and up and up and up, and you're like, at a certain point, it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it's on my mind. I can tell you right now, that's a big, I was like, Bella goes to Penn State.
Yep.
But I was like, William, son, we're gonna look
Mhm.
into it because it becomes it's so expensive. And then like, I mean, the people that have benefited the most are the administrations, which are like 5 times as large as they used to be. I mean, go look at any department in Chapel Hill. There's probably, you know, 15 people in that department when 20 years ago there were like two.
Yep.
Uh, and and then you look at and hey, the real estate developers have done well. I mean, $30 million facility at CU, like hell
Yep.
yeah, like somebody did all right building that thing. But I mean, you want nice facilities and all. I get it, but it's like a point where it's like, holy crap, like, and it works if they get out of college and they get good jobs, and it's like here's the
Right.
path and here's how. But now it's like we don't have electrical contractors, we don't have HVAC,
Exactly.
the technical jobs that
Oh,
we need. We're like 7 million short, and I'm sitting there going like my 15-year-old. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like maybe trade schools are not bad. Go in your own business. Like, you
yeah.
know, go fix
I
HVAC
mean,
units and actually do a good job and communicate with people and be responsible. You'll probably be really successful.
get into restaurant equipment repair. I mean, you
Yeah,
can't get
right there.
somebody out. You can't get somebody to just even come for less than $400 or $500 just to come to the spot.
Sure.
That doesn't include the repair, and none of them stock any of the stuff that they need on the truck. So they come out, they look at what they need, they go to the supply house, they buy the thing they need, they come back and they repair the thing, and hopefully that's actually what was wrong with it. And then they send you a bill for $1,000. And restaurants are notoriously, thin margins, and
Yeah.
$1,000 unexpected bills is a lot of money. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah. And y'all have
crazy.
that all the time. Yeah.
So
Well,
much so that I almost enrolled in in restaurant equipment repair school in my spare time because I probably could save a lot of money.
can you this is probably a dumb question, but I wonder if you could start using AI to help you learn how to repair things. Like this is
Well, YouTube has definitely
yeah.
been awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always say that, the owner of a restaurant is just the CEO of toilet repair because I fix a toilet like 3 times a week. Yeah. If you think that owning a restaurant's glamorous. Just come fix the toilet with me when a customer's broken it. It's you know, God, I mean, I stock toilet handles in the office. You know, we buy them 10 at a time.
I have a friend. He was up in um Grandfather Mountain a couple weeks ago. He's at this coffee shop and he was texting me and because he met he knows the owner and he told the guy about Schedule Fly, so they signed up for Schedule Fly and they're going to come on the podcast. And my friend Bobby was texting me. He's like, "Yeah, I'm just watching him. He's going around. He's talking to customers. Man, this looks like so much fun. Like this is something
Mhm.
I want to do this." And I mean, he wasn't being really serious, but
Yeah,
I was like, "Dude, go ask him what it's like 99.5% of the time that he's not out there doing that. Ask him what it's like when the freezer breaks at 3 o'clock in the morning, or the
the
cook
three
quit
bay
mid
sink
shift, or
gets
the
clogged,
freaking
drain gets clogged.
it's like go
Yeah,
ask him about that stuff. I remember Scott Maitland told me that it was one of the first podcasts I ever did, and he said people see me at the bar buying drinks and they think that looks so sexy and so cool. And he goes, what they don't understand is that's like 0.1% of my time. And the rest of the time,
yeah. 20 minutes ago, I had to take my pants off so that I could get down on my hands and knees and bail out the water in the floor drain. You know.
there it is. Oh, the CEO of toilet repair, Drew. I think that is probably the best. I love that. That's the best tagline I think I've heard for a restaurant owner because it's like funny, but it's true.
Yeah.
Um, Probably the best one I've heard yet in like freaking 15 years of doing this podcast. I love that, man. I got to get up there. So I'm going to, the good news is, um, I'll be, my stepmom already, she lives in Cary. So I'm already up there now and then, but now my son's going to ECU, so we'll be coming by. So we'll stop
Oh,
it.
cool. That's right.
I want to come. That's got my mouth water, man. I can't wait to have some of that.
Sweet.
Awesome. Dude, I will let you run. I appreciate you very much. Always enjoy talking to you. I always get inspired talking to you because you have values and convictions that you stand by, and that's like really inspiring and rare these days, man. So thank you for all that you do.
Thanks. And I got to say, I'll give you a plug. We had an issue to schedule fly a couple of weeks ago with the new business, and Hank was on it in about 10 seconds, had the thing fixed.
Oh,
So,
that's all. Mr.
yeah,
Hank,
I mean,
he's the legend. He's a
yeah, I
we
don't think
actually
I've
have
ever
we have
seen
20.
software fix so fast.
Well, we actually have 20 people here, and we just call them all Hank. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
no, it's amazing.
Hank 1, Hank
Literally,
2.
it's literally one dude, but you're like, there's got to be more of this guy because like it's
Yeah,
like that all the time. That's
yeah.
awesome. Drew, have a good one, man. We'll see you soon. I'll let you know when I'm heading that way.
Cool. Thanks, Will.
See ya.
See ya.